Mostly cloudy. It stays windy, 30. That's it for the high, but it's going to feel like the teens all day. That'll be the case on Thanksgiving as well. Dry, but mostly cloudy and breezy with a high of 29.
All right, right now we have rain falling. Again, it'll turn to snow tonight. 42 degrees right now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
The voices you trust,
that
the stories you didn't know you needed, and the laughs you didn't see coming. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
Well, we are going to be on First Alert, Snow Watch, Next Weather, DeRushadelight.com. Warning, we're on it. People are freaking out about this. I understand, like, the timing is not great if you're planning to travel tonight. We'll visit with Chris Shaffer in our second hour and the beauty of this is we're either going to rip Shaffer for completely shanking the forecast or let him take a victory lap. Either way, doesn't matter much to me. Looking at the live radar right now, there is a pretty clear line where the snow is falling in kind of the Alexandria, Brainerd, Moose Lake, Duluth area. And then to the south, we're getting some pretty heavy rain in downtown Minneapolis. That is messing with the roads. So we'll have you. This is what we do, right? Like, we are going to have you covered. We are going to get through it. And in 20 minutes, I want to know, like, what you're stocking up on. Because that is, like, isn't that what you have to do? I did some stocking up earlier today. You're never going to guess what I stocked up on. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. I do want to start with the clash between protesters and police in St. Paul. And we've been reporting on this all afternoon here on CCO. Our Taylor Rivera at the scene. And this is something I've been thinking about as we have seen more protesters show up to more immigration-related arrest locations. And my question is, what are we doing? And this question goes in two different directions, but I am absolutely over the idea that protesters are showing up on the scene of an active arrest. And then we're going to be mad when you get pepper sprayed. You're going to get pepper sprayed. My level of sympathy for this is not super high. I want to know where you're at. Are you on the team officers or team protesters? 651-461-9226. I will say this, that it does make me sick that this is where we are as a country. Not that people are protesting. I'm sick about the fact that the United States government and immigration authorities think that the type of enforcement that they're doing right now is doing a damn thing to make our country safer, because I don't think it is. This is all about notching wins. We're notching wins. Oh, we got another person who's undocumented. We got somebody else who, and it's all done in darkness. We don't really know what's happening. We don't really get a public trial or a public way to see what's going on. But showing up on the scene of an arrest, because today we have the capability where neighbors start live streaming. You see ICE agents show up. Somebody gets their camera going on Facebook and off it goes. I think protesters they're asking for a fight. They're asking for a fight. And it makes me nervous to sort of say how I think someone else should protest, because generally speaking, people should protest however they want to protest. This is America. You should protest. You want to protest, fine. I do think protests on this issue will gain attention if you do them in other locations than the active site of an arrest going on right now. What's the end game? What's the hope? Is the hope that you're going to make the ICE agents stop? It feels a little bit to me like protesting the cashier at Target because you're upset about Target's DEI policy. The cashier's just doing his or her job. The ICE agents are doing what they are sent out to do. So the idea of getting in the middle of it, protesting, and then being, and we'll play you that soundbite that Susie played in the newscast as well. We'll play that after a break. But protesters are mad that they're getting pepper sprayed or hit with rubber bullets. Well, I don't know. You're penetrating a police perimeter. You're getting in between agent cars. To me, it seems like you're asking for trouble and you're getting it. And I just don't see how on earth this is going to result in any sort of change in policy. It's just going to get people hurt. Linda's in Maple Grove at 651-461-9226. Linda, thanks for calling. Which side are you on this? The protesters or the officers?
Well, if you mean the police officers, I'm on both sides. I'm on the protesters' side and the police officers' side. I am not on the ICE side.
Yeah.
So the protesters want people to see that there are people out there saying this isn't okay. Whether or not, I don't know that they're always crossing any kind of police lines or anything. If they do, well, they are asking for it. But if they're just standing there protesting and getting pepper sprayed, that's not okay.
Then that's not okay. Yeah, I'm
But
with you on that, Linda. Like, I think the line I would draw is that I have no problem with the ICE officers themselves. My issue is with the policy that's from the federal government, that's coming from the Trump administration. To me, these men and women of ICE are doing what they are told to do. You're an officer. They tell you to go arrest people. You go do it.
I know, but I think the whole thing is immoral.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
And
Linda.
if you're getting paid to do something immoral, then
Yeah, then you're sort of responsible. Yeah,
you are.
I hear that. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate it. 651-461-9226. These are tough scenes to watch. Like, I'll be honest, whenever, when our Taylor Rivera got hit by some pepper spray out there, which is part of what happens when you're sent to protest and off to report. I do think the mayor of St. Paul, Melvin Carter, is being incredibly responsible in the way he's responding to this. We talked with Mayor Carter the other day on this show about immigration actions and immigration issues. And he is very clear that the city of St. Paul is not cooperating. They're not negatively cooperating. They're not impeding, but they're not part of the planning. They don't know what's going on. It comes, it happens, and they find out about it the same way we do. And he is hesitant to say, like, I don't know, did our officers do it right, or did they do anything wrong? Which is the correct approach, right? Because we don't know until you review the video and take a look at it. But I will say it's uncomfortable when you watch it and you see protesters getting pepper sprayed. Now, some of you like it. At 651-461-9226. FA and FO. I think you guys sort of know what that means. When you mess around, you find out. Texter, if you get in the way of officers doing their job, don't cry when you get tear gassed. Get out of their way. I think most do it so they can post it and feel good about themselves. Let's go to Jeff in Sauk Rapids. He's on the CCO talk and text line. Jeff, I do think that's part of what's going on here, right? You provoke a little bit of an interaction, and then you spread your message that you're against this.
Well, yeah. Tentatively, I'm on Team Protester, but I have to start with a question.
Sure.
It's my understanding from one of your newscasts that there was no arrest warrant for whoever they were looking for. Is that true or not?
That's our understanding so far. That
okay.
and I don't know that ICE, because it's a civil immigration action, I don't know that they always need an arrest warrant or exactly how this all goes down. It's sort of a different
an arrest
deal.
is an arrest. You could just ask any attorney, any judge, any court. An arrest is an arrest. Defined by any type of a police officer impeding the otherwise normal activities of a citizen. That's an arrest, even if it's a matter of, hey, come here, I want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're technically under arrest at that moment. I'm no legal expert, but as a cop, I know the former cop. I know that protesters have all the rights in the world to be on the boulevard, sidewalk.
Yep, for sure. It's legal.
And certainly with owner's permission
Do you think it's wise?
Property.
Right, there is that difference between whether it's legal or whether it's wise. Do you think is it wise?
There's always that difference.
Yeah, I think people don't like to draw that distinction, right? Like that. Yeah.
I've considered a number of actions in my life that would have been legal.
Yeah. Same.
But at the moment, potentially unwise.
Very true.
But with the owner's permission, I got every right to be on the property. And quite honestly, if the any of the law enforcement people, civil action or not, don't have an arrest warrant, to my knowledge, they have no right to enter private property and try to grab somebody, unless you're in direct pursuit. Like, hey, there's a guy, we know that he's wanted. We're after him. They follow him home, run down the sidewalk, grab him at the front door. That's direct pursuit. Short of that, no.
Thanks, Jeff. 651-461-9226. I do think that because these are civil actions and immigration actions, the legality and the typical way that we do things in Minnesota and most cities all around the country, it's a little different. It's a little different. Should it be? No, I don't think. But that is the way it is right now. That's why they call it a law enforcement operation. It's not exactly someone is detained. And of course, it's all in the cloak of darkness. We don't really know what's going on. Rico, stay on the line. Rico's in White Bear Lake. We'll get to you in just a minute. It's 3:21. I want to break. We're talking about the breaking news that we've been covering here on CCO today and where you're at on this. Are you in the, FAFO crowd? Do you think that's what's going on here, or do you think these protesters are drawing attention to something in the best way that they can? Drive Time at 651-461-9226.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO Radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old.
And those sleep night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those sleep night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those sleep night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
I'm Mary Jo Copeland. Sharing and Caring Hands has been helping people in need for 41 years thanks to your generosity. Many people are in need through no fault of their own and need your help. Your donations provide meals, shelter, food, clothes, medical needs, and much more. About 94% of your donations go to the needs of the poor. We take no government funding and rely solely on your donations. To learn more or to donate, go to sharingandcaringhands.org. May God bless you all.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country. But Congressman Tom Emmer is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Tom Emmer at 202-225-2331 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Hey, it's Benita. If you know me, you know I love hockey. I'm getting so excited for the World Juniors. It's the 50th anniversary coming up in Minnesota. The best part, it's officially the perfect year to plan a hockey holiday with your family because the Black Friday buy one, get one deal is on. Buy one ticket, get one free now through December 1st. I'll be there cheering. I hope you will be too. Grab your BOGO tickets at worldjuniorsmn26.com.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Just a quick question. Does it encrypt your online traffic the same as NordVPN?
No, but it protects your device. Just pop that CD in and you're good to go.
But it will stop your internet service provider and other snoopers from monitoring you online, right?
Oh, no, not really. It won't stop online snoopers or block annoying ads. In fact, forget what I said at the beginning of this ad. This ad is now about NordVPN. I just realized that an antivirus is only half protection online. So get better online protection with the NordVPN Black Friday deal. It will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. This Black Friday, get NordVPN with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months. Yeah!
You're listening to Drive Time with on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Lots of reaction to protesters showing up on the scene of an apparent ICE raid in St. Paul. This happened earlier today. Our Taylor Rivera was around the scene. It was right around 10:30 this morning when it started. And then around 12, between noon and 12:30, ICE agents were sort of moving out and trying to disperse. And that is when Taylor reported that some pepper spray was used, some rubber bullets as well. Texters, team officer all the way. Another texter saying pushing and shoving against officers is absolutely not right. They should be pepper sprayed. Let's go to Steve in Minnetonka at 651-461-9226. Steve, you're on CCO. Go ahead.
Well, the first lady you had on, she said it's immoral. Why is it immoral?
I think her view, if I can try to speak for that viewpoint, is that when you're going in these, now we don't ever know, right? We don't know why they went to this house, why they went for these particular people. But there's no question that ICE has been going after people that certainly don't rise to the they've got a criminal record, that they've got their.
Why do they have to have a criminal record? They're illegal.
Is it your view that someone who has committed the civil violation, it's not a criminal violation, but the civil violation of being here without proper documentation, of being here illegally, that they should be rounded up, every one of them?
Well, if they're here illegal, if I went to another country, they'd round me up.
Well, the difference is we have let millions of people do that for decades.
Yeah, through Ellis Island.
We've had people coming to America without proper documentation, and we haven't done anything about it because companies hire these folks. I mean, if we were serious about this, in my viewpoint, you go after the companies.
Exactly.
But that's not what we're doing. We're going to one house in St. Paul, Minnesota with a dozen ICE agents. Is that a logical or moral response to a systemic failure by our country to deal with immigration?
Well,
I think that's the argument. I think I understand rules are rules and the law is law. And if you're here without proper documentation, you shouldn't be here. But I also live in the world of reality where you say, come on, man, we've screwed this up for 30, 40 years. And so now we're going to go take people who've been in this country in some cases 10, 20 years. Now, I'm all for get the criminals out of here for sure. The people who have committed crimes. Now, I'm not talking about being here illegally as the crime. I'm saying get the drug dealers and the rapists and the gangbangers. But what are we really doing to make our state safer Imagine what 12 law enforcement agents could do if. Now, again, we don't know because they never tell us what's going on, right? Maybe these people were unsafe.
Our liberal cities will never do that. You know, if the police would work with them, it would go faster and get more.
I did ask Melvin Carter about that when he was on the show the other day, because I tend to agree with you. I understand the practical reasons why cities and police officers don't want to cooperate with immigration authorities. The practical reason of you want people in your community to trust you, to call in suspect descriptions and cooperate in murder investigations, that sort of thing. So that's the practicality. And then the other side is, I do agree with you that I think if we were more cooperative, maybe we would have more productive operations instead of what I think is largely, as much as I think the protests are theater and a waste of time, I think having 12 ICE agents storm one house in St. Paul, unless there's some evidence shown otherwise, that they were getting rid of somebody dangerous, to me, that's theater too.
But they don't know, so why are they there?
Yeah. The protesters. Yeah. And this is where I say, and one of our texters says this, Steve, and I'm curious where you are on that, because the texter says they're not really protesting, they're interfering with the legal process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know it's got to sting to get hit by one of those rubber bullets.
Oh, my. I've never been hit by rubber bullet. I have been pepper sprayed before. It's not fun. I did not.
Well,
don't recommend.
I've gotten hit by paintballs, and those sting, and those have got to be a lot worse.
A lot worse. Steve, thank you. Appreciate it. Jennifer in Stillwater, you're on CCO. Go ahead, Jennifer. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Jason. What I have a complaint about is I wish that Americans would protest about American women being murdered all around the country. You know, the woman that was burned alive on the New York City subway last December 22nd, Debbie Kawam, she was burned alive right on camera. She was homeless. She was trying to stay warm on the train. And she was burned alive by a Guatemalan illegal alien who had re-entered the country after once being deported before. Also, there was a Ukrainian refugee, Irina Zarutska, who was 23. She was murdered by a man who had been set free 14 times right on the Charlotte train, right on camera in downtown Charlotte.
Yep.
And then there was a woman, Bethany McGee, just last week, 26 years old. She was lit on fire, and she's clinging to life right now. She was lit on fire by a man, Lawrence Reed, who had been previously arrested 72 times and let back out. So I wish that Americans would start protesting about American women being brutalized just trying to go about their day.
Don't you think people are protesting that, Jennifer? I mean, you were able to just name all of those cases and all the people who were arrested. I feel
Do you know how? I have not seen it at all.
Well, how did you know it? How did you know it?
You want to know how I know it? Because I follow the right people on Twitter, on X, and I've seen the videos.
But yeah, I just
living color.
But you can see these
reported.
Well, should I send you the links? If you just Google it, it's on NBC News, ABC News, PBS. I mean, this is being reported.
They put it online. Usually is the game. They'll put it online, but they frequently don't put it on the TV. I watch the NBC News every night, kind of hate watch it just to see what they're,
I get it. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's value in that.
Yeah. And so I see all these videos, live action videos from the transit authority.
Yeah.
And these women are being murdered right on camera, and people are even admitting that it's a hate crime. They say, I'm killing you because you're a white woman, and they don't do anything. These people have been let out, 72 times. And one of them.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's outrageous, Jennifer. That's the kind of stuff we should be going after. I think the reports that we've seen of ICE agents going after, we've had it right here in our community, going into warehouses, going into farm fields. To me, let's be more targeted. Let's be more targeted. But I also think interfering with law enforcement, you're going to get what you get. I really do. 3:33, let's break. When we come back, got to update you on the snow. What is the latest on the pre-Thanksgiving Snowmageddon? Drive Time coming back in a bit.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO. Strong voices.
The evangelicals who support Trump, when so much of their faith is about decency, how do those folks justify that?
Sharp opinions.
At least Target is raising up our humanity.
Humans set the bar for humanity. Corporations don't.
Have you met humanity? Maybe corporations should.
We're not here to tell you what to think. We're here to make sure that you do.
Data breaches. Are we just getting desensitized to it? Your data has been compromised. What are you supposed to do?
Jim Marshall and Chuck Foreman didn't make the cut for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's a continued slap in the face to Minnesota sports fans.
Some PC and some woke is good. When I was a kid, think of the insults that we called each other. You know, we know better.
News Talk 830 WCCO.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Get a jump on your holiday shopping at Runnings with their Black Friday sale and gift card bonus. Friday, November 28th in-store from 6 to noon. Get a $10 bonus gift card for every $50 pre-tax you spend. Get amazing deals and savings on all departments during the Black Friday gift card bonus event at your local Runnings store, November 28th. Get all of your holiday shopping done in one stop at Runnings. Shop one of the 90 locations across the Upper Midwest, the Northeast, and America's Heartland. Go to Runnings.com for more information and a store near you.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's chicken pot pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
You can do this. Why? Because no one cares more about your money than you. Right now, many have concerns about their retirement, their investments. Are these mutual funds a poor investment? Did you know that with the average fees of 2%, you could be missing out on upwards of half of your potential retirement dollars? That's pretty high for management, especially when 75% of these funds underperform the market. At Trading Academy, our mission is to empower you to take control of your investments. Text investing to 210-210. Take control of your financial future. Maybe it's to just have a better conversation with your broker. Sign up for a free investing class, local classrooms, one-on-one mentoring, how to protect your investments against inflation. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
No snow yet, but accidents all over the place. Highway 7 westbound, there's a crash at 169 and 5th Avenue. 35E northbound, there's a fender bender at Little Canada Road and 69. Expect an 11-minute delay. 494 eastbound. Expect a 14-minute delay. There's a wreck on the shoulder. That's right at the Xerxes overpass just before Penn Avenue. 35E southbound. There's an accident at 694 on Little Canada Road that's backing things up all the way to Brooklyn Boulevard. If you can avoid that path, I would do so. It is stopped on 694 headed east. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Well, I think everybody's trying to get the heck out of town while they can before the snow flies. What if the snow doesn't fly? I'm asking. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here is the latest forecast from Chief Meteorologist Chris Shaffer.
Our first big snow of the season. A winter storm warning in effect until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The wind is going to pick up tonight, northwest 15 to 25 miles per hour, and the snow will stack up, especially in the northern suburbs and points farther north, where 4 to 6 inches could accumulate. Expect less in the southern metro. Tomorrow it's all out of here, but mostly cloudy, windy, and cold. Only a high of 30, a high of 29, and still windy on Thanksgiving Day.
All right, right now it is raining in the metro Twin Cities, but it's kind of warm, 46 degrees. Now, if you just go a little bit north, there is some snow. The line is just to the north of St. Cloud. We'll talk about that in a minute here on CC.
Jason DeRusha.
You're a renaissance man of the media.
A lot of people have been saying that.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of buzz.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Dumbest thing that happens when snow is in the forecast. 651-461-9226. The thing that just absolutely frosts you.
Since we've no place to go.
Yeah.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
How about that snow? How about that weather? I mean, look, I am going to first off acknowledge the hypocrisy of a man who for the last 22 years has peddled in the weather hysteria game, right? Like, this is part of who I am. When the snow starts flying, I want to be out there in the thick of it. I want a story that shows somebody at Fratelloni's Hardware getting that, I want the newcomer to Minnesota getting their first shovel. I want, Larry getting the bottled water. I want all of it. I love it. I love all of it. And I hate all of it. I love all of it, and I hate all of it. Let's go to Tony in St. Paul. Tony, what drives you nuts when you get a couple inches of snow in the forecast?
Well, this is something I'm guilty of. I've lived in Minnesota my whole life. I'm 51, but I generally wait till the snow starts. In the middle of the blizzard, I'll decide it's a good time to go to the grocery store and stock up for things that I should have had already. And by the time I get home, the streets are cleared and I didn't need it anyway.
Yes. I also have been guilty of that. Now, for a long time, I was leaving my house early in the morning before the roads were cleared. And so that was not great. But like, I'm in that moment today where it's like, okay, I'm supposed to drive to Chicago tomorrow for Thanksgiving. And everybody's like all whipped up. My wife's whipped up. I'm whipped up. It's like, oh, what are we going to do? I don't know. If it's not good, we could go on Thursday. If it's not good, we could go on Friday. Like, who cares? Why do we get so worked up?
It's funny. You're absolutely right. Right now, I'm actually traveling. I'm on my Bluetooth, of course, but I'm almost I'm just west of St. Cloud right now on Highway 10. Traffic is perfect. It's raining. The roads are great. There's not a lot of traffic, but I'm sure everybody will wait till it starts snowing to get on the road as well. So that's kind of how we think in Minnesota.
Yes, and as soon as the snow flies, then we're going to, like 20 minutes in, we're going to be like, we used to do a better job of plowing the roads, didn't we? Whatever happened to that? It's like maybe we're the problem.
Yeah, pack up the road. Pack up the car. It started snowing. We got to go. We got to get there before the roads are clear.
That's right. I want to survive it. I got to get in the thick of it. Thanks, Tony. Very good. Phil, my buddy in Woodbury. Phil, how's it going?
Jay, thanks for taking my call. So just hear me out for a minute. When you're going to Chicago, don't listen to anybody gripe when you're driving. Just tune them out and drive. You'll be fine. But you know what I was going to tell you? So my foot's all healed up from my motorcycle, boo-boo.
Good.
And I'm calling you because, hey, you know what we're doing? We're getting the sleds ready for winter.
Oh, love it. Love it. Last year, we were kind of hosed, weren't we? It was not a good sledding. It was not good snow mobiling weather. It wasn't good snowshoeing. Wasn't good.
No, you know what? I put 64 miles on my snowmobile, and that hurts.
Yeah, it's not good. This is my year to go snowmobiling with you, right?
I hope so. If we do, I'm going to say, come on up, buddy.
All right.
We got an extra bed, helmet, snowmobile.
Wouldn't that be the worst? Like, say I take Phil up on his offer and I go snowmobiling and like I end up slamming into a tree or something, break my leg.
I mean, we talk about it on the show for.
I'm not saying I'm going to die.
A segment. I know, but you're going to be convalescing for a while, so we'll have to, sub for you.
If I die,
we give you a segment.
If I die snowmobiling, do you think it'd be on the front page?
Below the fold.
I think, well, no one's ever died snowmobiling in my group, so.
All right, that's.
and hey, and today's sleds are so much faster and they're comfortable. You got heated hand warmers, thumb warmer. I mean, it's a cat's meow,
Yeah, that sounds like my kind of experience. Phil, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you later, buddy. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too. There goes Phil. Happy Thanksgiving. Good guy. Good guy. 651-461-9226. What I get crazy about is that when the first snow of the year comes, it comes with something else. And it comes with our units of government doing the lamest bit in the history of lame bits. And believe me, if anyone knows about lame bits, it is Drive Time with DeRusha.
We know, yeah.
Yeah, it's in our wheelhouse. Today, once again, our friends in Washington County are launching their snowplow naming contest.
How many years have we been doing this now? How many plows do these companies have? It's been at least like 6-7 years that this has been going on. At least.
Well, I'm not sure who was first. Was MnDOT first or was it Washington County?
I mean, after a while, it all blends together.
They have named in Washington County a number of winners already. Plowabunga, Taylor Drift.
Sure.
Sir Plows a Lot. And the Land of 10,000 Flakes.
Okay.
Now, Sir Plows a Lot, just to unpack some of the, comedic genius that people are bringing to the table. Sir Plows a Lot is a reference to the rapper Sir Mix-a-Lot, who is best known for his 1992 hit, Baby Got Back.
Many of these are very Gen X-ish.
1992 was my junior year in high school.
Senior year for me.
And if you're making name a snowplow references tracking back to 1992, it's time to get some more current material, right?
I mean, Taylor Drift is more current.
Pretty good. Although who do you think was first? Like, I'm sure.
But Plowabunga also is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reference. That's 90s, right?
MnDOT has named 44 snowplows.
Yeah, we can be done.
They're going to do it again, aren't they? Have they launched this thing yet?
I haven't seen it. Usually we get a press release. But I missed it if we got one.
There is a website that has all of their, all of the photos.
Okay, so I don't want to make this an accusation.
Oh, I do.
But I do want to bring this up.
Okay.
Because I have to ask, for clarity's purpose, for full disclosure.
Yep.
Are you actually mad at the bit?
Mm-hmm.
Or
okay,
are you upset that Chasen DeRusha has not been selected by any of these municipalities to put on one of their plows?
That's a fair question. It's both.
Okay.
It's a little.
That's fair.
One texter is suggesting another riff on my name as a possible plow name. What about Jason DeRusha? That's pretty good.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
MnDOT started their contest in 2021, but they do they do 10? Do they do 8? Dolly Plowton. That one that's terrible, by the way. Dolly Plowton. Some of these are so bad. Now, Clark W. Bliswald is actually pretty good. I'm gonna give you a credit, give whoever came up with that one. But don't you think we could stop it? I just feel like we could stop.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question. Like, I mean, they're not making any money off of this, right? This isn't like a sponsorship.
Well, it's just pure distraction. It's designed to make you like MnDOT when most people don't like MnDOT.
Is this just a marketing person trying to justify their existence?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I respect that game, right? I mean, look.
That you're in on. All right, I get it.
I mean, now, if MnDOT wants to buy some advertising on this show for the name of Snowplow
we
contest,
will push the heck out of this.
You bet. It'll be a totally different deal. Tony just texted back, the rain did turn to snow on Highway 10 near Rice, Minnesota. It's coming! Oh, no! It's coming! We'll talk to Chris Shaffer live after 4 o'clock here on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Chris Lindahl knows this time of year, what is the last thing you want? The last thing you want is opening your house to have some ding-dong coming through as part of open house. Heck no. That's where the guaranteed cash offer comes in. It's Jason here for ChrisLindahl.com. The guaranteed cash offer has been so popular over the last couple of months because the real estate environment is all over the place. Interest rates, they're up, they're down, they're even. Where are we going? What about the mortgage rate? What about people's sort of pernickettiness and what they're looking for in a house that's on the market? There's a lot of different stressors. And now with the snow coming, the cold weather coming, nobody wants to be dealing with the uncertainty of the open market. And that's where the Chris Lindahl guaranteed cash offer comes in. You go to ChrisLindahl.com, you request a guaranteed offer, cash offer for your home. And in as quick as 2 days, you can be at closing. No open house. You don't have to clear out the junk out of the basement. You don't have to upgrade your closets or your bathrooms or your kitchen. You just get the cash, move on with your life. Speed, certainty, it's all part of the equation at ChrisLindahl.com. Get to the website. Get your guaranteed cash offer. Say yes and start packing. Terms and conditions may apply.
The holidays will be here soon.
And whether you've been coming to Thielen Meats of Piers for generations
or looking to start a new family tradition,
you'll want to put us on your holiday wish list.
We're the #1 meat market in Minnesota.
We add those melt-in-your-mouth moments to your holiday celebration.
High-quality meats that keep our customers coming back for more.
That's why we've become a holiday tradition for so many folks.
No meals complete without Thielen Meats
of Piers.
Great work doesn't happen by accident. It happens in the right environment. At iSpace Environments, we bring together office furniture, architectural walls, and integrated technology to create spaces that help people work better, feel better, and connect more easily. We're a 100% employee-owned company built on the potential of partnership to help organizations create environments that look and perform beautifully. Whether you're an architect shaping a vision, a project manager juggling timelines, or a business leader reimagining your workplace, we make the process easy, seamless, and even enjoyable. From early planning to final installation and support beyond, we take ownership of the details that matter most, because at iSpace, your success is our success. Visit iSpaceEnvironments.com to discover how our partnership can help your people feel better, work better, and connect better.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
35W southbound at 94 all the way down to Crosstown is crawling in both directions. Over in St. Paul, 94 westbound, there's an incident causing delays at Pryor Avenue and Cretan Vandalia. East and west lanes both delayed around 7 minutes. 494 eastbound, there's a fender bender at Normandale Boulevard and Highway 100. A little further down on 494 eastbound, expect a 19-minute delay. There's a wreck on the Xerxes Overpass and Penn Avenue area of 494. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm Mary Jo Copeland. Sharing and Caring Hands has been helping people in need for 41 years, thanks to your generosity. To learn more, to donate, go to sharingandcaringhands.org. Make a difference in the lives of others and give hope to the children. May God bless you all.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, we're going to have Chris Shaffer with us at the top of the hour, so I don't want to go into too much detail, but the rain to snow should end by morning. 2 to 6 inches, more to the northern metro, less to the south. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. It'll be windy, high of 30. Thanksgiving, just at 29. Right now in the metro, it's still too warm to snow. It is 46 degrees on CCO.
This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Broadcasting live from the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship Studio. Single game tickets are on sale now at worldjuniorsmn26.com.
Dan Kimmy does not want the snow. She wants to sunbathe in her bikini.
I mean, which I'm sure would be a wonderful experience for her. Probably not practical for November in Minnesota.
What's annoying you about?
Well, the thing that annoys me when it snows is this is part of a bigger thing that we talk about all the time. People's lack of awareness of what's going on around them.
Yeah.
I get, if you don't like driving in weather and it makes you a little nervous, okay. You don't want to drive as speedily as you normally would, fine.
Yep.
Stay out of the left lane. Get over to the right, drive as slow as you need to.
Yeah.
Just, be aware of what's going on around you. Don't go 50 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour in the left lane on the freeway. Also, if you're somebody that does drive fairly quickly, calm down. Conditions are a little shaky in spots. You don't have to go super fast, right? You don't have to go flying by people or weaving in and out like you're Mario Andretti. You knock that stuff off.
Yeah.
Just everybody take it easy. Be aware of what's going on around you. It's not that hard. But we lose that. We've lost that in this culture. It's just everybody's out there doing what they're doing and nobody gives a about anybody else.
What I'm always blown away by is the stocking up. Like, don't you people have any stuff in your house? Like, how long do you think you're going to be snowed in? What do you need to stock up on? That said, I did go to Solo Vino, the wine shop. I mean, you gotta be ready.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
When it happens there, you'll hear about it here. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Streaming live via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Steel.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump says he's hopeful for an agreement to end the war in Ukraine.
I think we're getting very close to a deal. We'll find out.
Linda Kenyon reports.
In a post on social media, President Trump said the 28-point peace plan drafted by the U.S. has been fine-tuned. He added he has directed Special Envoy Steve Witkoff to meet with Russian President Putin in Moscow. At the same time, Secretary of the Army Dan Driscoll will meet with the Ukrainians. The president said he hopes to meet with Ukraine's President Zelensky and President Putin when the deal is final or in its final stages.
The FBI is seeking interviews with some Democrats in Congress, as Scott McFarland reports.
Multiple sources tell CBS News the FBI has notified 6 Democratic members of Congress that they're the subject of an inquiry over a video they made last week in which they urged U.S. service members that they don't have to follow unlawful orders. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin is one of the 6 and said today this is a weaponization of the federal government against perceived adversaries of President Trump.
Millions of Americans already traveling to their Thanksgiving destination. So far, there have been no major delays. CBS's Chris Van Cleve is checking the travel and weather conditions nationwide.
The FAA is watching for delays in the Atlanta area, as well as the Washington, D.C. area up through New York. Also the potential for snow as we get further into today in the Minneapolis area. Those are all hubs for airlines, so potential disruptions there.
Brazil's former president's beginning his 27-year prison sentence for leading a coup attempt. Mimi Swaby of the BBC reports.
Brazil's Supreme Court has said the former right-wing leader can no longer appeal his conviction, and he will now start his almost 3-decade-long sentence in a federal police station in the capital, Brasilia. Mr. Bolsonaro is already in custody after he was deemed a flight risk and transferred from house arrest on Saturday. He blamed hallucinations and a nervous breakdown for an attempt to prise open his ankle monitor.
The former president and several allies were convicted of attempting to overthrow Brazil's democracy following his 2022 election defeat. For the second time in a week, federal agents believed to be carrying out immigration raids in St. Paul, Minnesota, were met with protesters.
The people united will never be defeated.
A review council appointed by President Trump to propose reforms to FEMA will reveal its recommendations next month. Trump has repeatedly said he wants to shift more of the cost burden for disaster response and recovery to state and local governments, if not eliminate FEMA altogether. On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher, the Dow up 664. This is CBS News.
Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select Steel tools. Shop online at steelusa.com or in store.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Rain and 43 degrees at 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Susie Jones. The hour's top story: winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories now in effect across much of Minnesota. The system has the potential to significantly impact travel plans statewide heading into Thanksgiving. WCCO TV meteorologist Mike Augustinak.
It's all about the snow and also the strong winds, making for terrible travel coming up for at least a time tonight. And already we're seeing that in western Minnesota. It's wind plus moderate to heavy snowfall rates. I'm talking about snowfall rates that will have accumulations happening at an inch per hour or more for at least a few hours, and then slow improvement through the day tomorrow. But that wind will not quit. So while the snow will quit pretty early in the morning, the blowing snow and the travel troubles that come along with that will be continuing.
And several schools across the state have already closed early in anticipation of the storm, with many activities canceled as well. A tense situation in St. Paul earlier today, with federal agents and police using tear gas to disperse protesters at yet another ICE raid.
It happened in St. Paul's Payne-Phelan neighborhood at around 10:30 a.m. during a raid. Only one person in a family home near East Rose Avenue, igniting a massive crowd of community protests. Following the arrest, the scene grew tense as federal agents used tear gas and rubber bullets against the assembled crowd, protesters, and reporters. Mayor Melvin Carter then arrived on the scene to address the incident and the involvement of St. Paul police.
I'm not going to try to justify every single thing. That's why we have investigative processes. That's why we have body cam footage. That's why we have the use of force policies that we put in place.
Mayor Carter has since ordered a review of officers' body camera footage. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830. WCCO.
As we head into the holiday season, a Woodbury man is sharing his story of being seriously injured when a drunk driver hit him as he and his son were riding on an ATV. Alan Olson described his injuries.
He impacted us on the side of the four-wheeler where my left leg was. That ended up taking my left femur and pushing it into and through my left hip.
He joined the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, announcing its holiday campaign with extra officers on the road starting tomorrow until the end of the year. And finally, Governor Tim Walz officially presenting Minnesota's official Thanksgiving turkey today at the state capitol.
This year's official state turkey is named Gru and was raised by 4-H student Shelby Barber.
For our birds, average is about mid to high 40s. Sometimes we have gotten up to about 60 pounds, but average is around mid to high 40s.
Barber says Gru weighs over 45 pounds and that his time in the limelight won't be lasting too long.
After this, he will come home with us and be the main guest on our Thanksgiving table.
Well said. Well said. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, Jason, you thought you might have another clever quip on me.
The biggest Minnesota turkey.
Yes.
Biggest Minnesota turkey.
About to be eaten.
Yeah, it was
as
Chad
were.
Hartman, I understand. It was Chad Hartman who was the biggest turkey.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Is that was your line for this hour?
Yeah, different show.
We're going to leave it alone. I think I'm not going to do the turkey story because I don't think your jokes are very funny.
Wow.
Just saying.
That's hurtful.
A little bit, but it's a dad
You
joke.
know.
It's one of those dumb dad jokes.
It's a dumb joke, no doubt. I thought that was the bit. I thought you were inviting the dumb dad. That's what I thought you wanted. I was trying to provide what you want.
Okay.
I was doing it for you.
I am picking up what you're pointing out.
You got it.
All right. Let's break here for traffic and weather.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Bring joy to every family. Donate now at SalvationArmyNorth.org. 252 southbound, there's a crash at 70th Avenue and 66th. That's up in Brooklyn Center. 494 eastbound, there's a fender bender at Normandale Boulevard and Highway 100. A little further down on 494, right about where that Xerxes overpass and Penn Avenue are, there's a 19-minute delay due to a wreck. This holiday season, thousands of Minnesota families are struggling just to get by. You can help by donating to the Salvation Army. Your gift will provide comfort, hope, and joy to local families. Donate now at salvationarmynorth.org. That's salvationarmynorth.org. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Not a bad voice.
Jason DeRusha here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
It is brought to you this time around by the Canopy Group. Here is WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Shaffer with the forecast.
Much of the state in a winter storm warning until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The snow will stack up this evening into the night. We could see 2 to 6 inches by sunrise tomorrow. 2 inches more likely in the southern metro, 6 inches more possible in the northern suburbs. Tomorrow the snow's out early. Mostly cloudy. It stays windy. 30. That's it for the high, but it's going to feel like
I think it's not fun.
That'll be the case on Thanksgiving as well. Dry, but mostly cloudy and breezy with a high of 29.
Right now we have light rain, foggy, misty, and 43 degrees ahead of the snow on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Big topics, bigger opinions, all on the biggest platform. News Talk 830 WCCO.
She was a little harsh. She's like...
Good questions, topics you'll probably talk about at dinner.
Tender,
places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha.
And that was
now,
mad.
Here's Jason.
What are you going to do about that? She said. You didn't go crying away.
No, we're talking about pepper spray. I got pepper sprayed when I was covering the Gopher Dinkytown hockey riots. Remember this when the Gophers won the Frozen Four, and just like every other idiot college campus, you do what?
Didn't they turn over cars?
Yes, they turned over cars. They lit like the dumpster behind the old McDonald's. I was like such a new reporter. I had been here for like 10 minutes. And they asked me to be on call because who else would they ask but the idiot who just arrived from Milwaukee?
Right.
And I, of course, thought this was a high compliment. Years later, now I'm like, well, they just knew I was a dummy who on a Saturday night would be like, yeah, I'll be ready for the call.
Dun, 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 dun.
So I was ready for the call. In fact, I was with friends at Britt's Pub, not drinking, but at Britt's Pub.
Okay, I believe you.
Officially on the record, not drinking, across the street. So when my pager went off in 2003, I was at Channel 4 in like 30 seconds, which really should have brought some follow-up questions for the team in the newsroom, right?
As to how quickly you arrived at work.
Where were you, buddy?
Right.
But
You weren't
instead,
driving, though, because you had your photographer. You jumped in the truck.
they were like, go to Dinkytown. And off I went. And it was me and Mary Tan.
Oh, I remember Mary.
Bridget Bornstein was
Oh, my
angry.
goodness. She now works for the city.
Then off, I went to cover the rioters. They were just they weren't protesting. They're just idiot college kids.
Yeah.
And the cops pepper sprayed the kids. And I was with my photographer, Dave Cheney. And I, like an idiot, got pepper sprayed and then went to hide in like a bus shelter.
Yeah.
And Cheney is like, keep walking. Because you walk through the cloud of pepper spray. You don't sit under a
bus stop.
Yeah, where all of the cloud of pepper spray started gathering. So today, our young Taylor Rivera got her first taste.
Sloan Martin got pepper sprayed during the George Floyd.
Chris Shaffer is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker. And Chris has been pepper sprayed many times with people just frustrated over the forecast. Right,
Really?
Chris?
They just open up?
They've got the little cans in hand every time I deliver a forecast. Like
That's right.
they're ready. I stay out of range.
Smart.
I know the range of those cans.
Well, you've been around a while, and you know, you were smarter than I was as a young pup reporter who didn't know what I was doing.
They actually asked me, and I turned them down. I stayed at Britt's drinking while you were
You were 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah, I was. Oh, my mother-in-law, Pat Manning. I was living at my in-laws' house at that time because Alyssa was still in Milwaukee. She hadn't moved here yet. I was that new. And my in-laws were all worried, like, where's Jason? Where's Jason? And it's like, well, turn on the TV. There I am.
There you are.
Which is
At the bus stop. At the bus stop.
At the bus stop, just like a dope. I don't know. Now I know better. Walk through it.
Don't you think if you catch that as friendly fire, it's a bit of a badge of honor?
Oh, heck yeah.
You know,
I'm still telling the story 20 years later.
I mean, nobody's going to admit, look, I had my arms full of jewelry and the cop grabbed me and peppered. No.
It is a badge of honor. It's like it's a good story to tell when people are like, well, you just did the good question. Or you just were you're telling jokes on the morning show. I'm like, no, I used to be like an actual reporter.
Yeah,
it's a long time ago.
Remember when I saw you at the bridge collapse?
Yes.
We both looked rather frantic that
was a
afternoon.
frantic night for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Chris Shaffer's. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I want to throw Jason back into good question mode. Why isn't there a salt spray? That seems like it'd be more of an irritant to the mucous membranes, you know?
Excellent point. That's a good question. Good question.
10 out of 10.
Thanks, Susie. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm going to run down and see what Chris has to say about this snow so we can let our listeners know as well throughout the afternoon.
Very good. Thanks, Susie.
Yeah. It's a big talker, you guys, of course, because it's our first big one. We've only had a trace. How pathetic is that? We're 5.5 inches below average already, but we will.
It is kind of pathetic, right? Like at this point, we should have had, a good one.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we averaged snow in October. We averaged snow in November. Last year, we didn't get our first big one till December 19th. We had 5.5 inches. The good one about that, it saved Christmas.
True.
It gave us the white Christmas.
Yes.
So that was nice.
That was a good one.
one,
Now,
yeah,
I'm a little nervous for you, Chris, because these snow forecasts, the thing moves 20 miles or 30 miles, and then you end up getting more or less depending on where you are. But the world loves to rip the weather guy for like, oh, you guys sure messed this one up. Well, I thought we were going to get some snow. How come? So is this nerve wracking for you? Because this is sort of it's not like a temperature forecast where you're like, if you're off by 5 degrees, nobody really cares. With the snow, everybody wants to come and say what a know-it-all they are.
In the summertime, people aren't holding me to the rain forecast. We could get 1/4 of an inch to half.
Well, my rain gauge says it's 1/8 of an inch, Shaffer. Yeah, nobody does that.
That's why I chuckle at all the memes that show the big blob over the whole state of Minnesota that says snow chances 1 to 72 inches. I take it in stride.
This one did sort of shift a little bit in the overnight, right?
Yeah, it did. It shifted south. And now there's some other thermodynamics at play that could affect the totals as well. So it's not just a matter of
you're just using fancy words trying to impress everybody. We know that
I brought this big book for a reason, right?
I mean, come on, Shaffer. You are a radio DJ like the rest of us. You don't have to drop the thermodynamics. Well, you did.
I'm just trying to sound smart.
Well, I was a little worried about the temperature. Because what is it? It's still 45 or 46 here?
Yeah, and one of the big questions I'm going to get is, what if all this rain was snow? And that would have been a big player.
Question. That's who Paul Douglas would lose his mind when we would ask him that question. He used to get so mad at that.
And he went down the thermodynamic road with that.
That is for sure. So if all this rain were snow, which is sort of a silly question because, would you get the same amount of moisture if it never lines up the same? But for entertainment purposes, if this rain were snow, what would we be seeing?
We'd already have a couple inches on the ground for certain. It'd be a wet, heavy snow, and your traffic reports would be much more numerous, and people would be getting home late and all that stuff. So this storm, in a sense, at least for the metro, is really timing out great because we're going to have the rain push through. Let me grab the glossary again. There's a dry slot that's going to come through, so there'll be a break in the rain, basically. And then the snow is going to arrive, but it likely doesn't hit the metro till this evening, like after 7 o'clock in the western metro, maybe 9 o'clock in the eastern suburbs. So most people at that time, you're hunkered down. You're watching Dancing with the Stars. You're doing whatever you're doing.
Right.
So it'll snow while you sleep. Now in the morning, yes, you'll have to do some shoveling. You'll have to dust off your car. I shouldn't say dust off. It'll be like scraping it off because it's going to be a wet, heavy snowfall.
Yeah.
But I promise you, by lunchtime tomorrow, you'll be zipping down the highway at 55 miles per hour.
All
So
right.
it's really a pretty tight window. The morning commute will be a little slower, but I think the MnDOT crews, they've been itching to get out there too. So I think they'll be all over it on the main highways. The wind is going to be a big player outstate, especially north of the Twin Cities where the heavier snow is expected. That's where they could get 6 to 9 inches of snowfall. Even though it's a wet, heavy snow, it will still blow a bit. And obviously while it's falling, visibility will be brutal, but I don't know many people that will be driving around at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the other benefit. Yeah.
This is
by tomorrow it becomes a cold story as we push through Thanksgiving.
It's
for travel,
pretty good
which is
for
great news.
travelers, right? Because I'm driving to Chicago after the show tomorrow, and I was a little nervous, and you're making me less nervous that it might be all right tomorrow.
You'll be fine.
All right.
You'll be. I'd be more worried about the deer in Wisconsin than I would any
Right.
snow.
Yeah, driving at night. I do think there's something about the rain. I think rain actually makes people worse drivers than snow. When the snow happens, you sort of know what to do, but with the rain, you get nervous Nelly, who slows down to 35, and then zoom in Stevie, who's going 65, and you end up with what we have going on out there right now. It's a mess.
Yeah, it really is. And it is stacking up in parts of the state already. One of our weather watchers in Alexandria already reported 3 inches on the ground. So it is coming. It's just going to take a while. And I'm really, really upset, Jason. I had a bunch of good turkey and giblet jokes I was going to tell, but Susie's a tough crowd.
She's tough. She has no appetite for this at all. I get it. Serious newswoman,
Yeah, hardcore.
All right. Well, Chris, thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. I know, I'm sure it's busy. They fired up the next weather alert radar, system, weather watcher.
The siren is flashing, the bat signals in the sky.
Just
remember, I'm the messenger. Don't pepper spray me. I'm just the messenger.
Fair enough. Chris Shaffer, he is the best. Thank you, Chris.
See you, buddy.
All right, very good. Texter saying, I can't wait to let Chad know my snow amount tomorrow because he loves that. That's right. Everyone make sure,
please,
tomorrow.
Set an alarm on your phone for about 12:08, and then just start spamming the text line with snow amount totals.
Chad wants to know.
He really wants to know.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
And send it like a couple of times just to make sure that he sees it.
Dan is off tomorrow, so he's happy to just stir it up and not deal with this. It's 4:20. We are going to break. Drive time. We got a lot to talk about today. We've got a new study that says your brain, that adolescent phase that we talk about, well, you might be surprised how long your brain remains in adolescence. Although listening to this show, you may not be that surprised. Drive time back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here with a hot tip for you when it comes to Christmas shopping for the guy in your life. J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina. The J.H. and Sons team has been working so hard this year to put together a holiday gift guide. If you sign up for their email list, you can get in on this. I absolutely have loved getting all of these kind of different chapters. The holiday gift guide, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, from Brioni denim to 11T wood jackets, a wood jacket, that'd be quite something. Wool jackets to Magnani boots and shoes, all sorts of great fashion ideas for the guy in your life who maybe could use a little help. Let's be real. I need help, and I love fashion. I love dressing well, but I know that if I go to see Chuck or Bryce or Dean or Kevin at J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina, I'm going to be taken care of. Now, this time of year, the Galleria looks so great, too, so make a day of it. Go visit all of the shops over there, but make sure you stop in at J.H. and Sons. Holiday party coming up after Thanksgiving. We'll talk about that a little more as we get closer, although you'll know about it if you sign up for that email list, jhandsons.com.
In construction, things don't always go according to plan. Delays, disputes, unpaid invoices, they can cost you big. That's where Helmuth & Johnson comes in. Our construction law team focuses on contracts, litigation, lien claims, and more. Whether you're a contractor, developer, or supplier, we've got your back. Protect your project, protect your business. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side. Visit hjlawfirm.com. That's hjlawfirm.com.
Do you know what the scariest sound to hear on a factory floor is? Silence. That means something somewhere broke. Production has stopped, and now you're paying your workers to wait while the team troubleshoots and tries to fix the problem. Finally, there's a proactive way to reduce equipment downtime, thanks to MaintainX. MaintainX is the asset management system that brings your maintenance downtime to zero. MaintainX lets you build preventative maintenance schedules, manage work orders in real time, and access the data you need to make better decisions. Downtime equals death in the production world, so make unplanned downtime a thing of the past. Try MaintainX for free. Control the daily operations of your business and transform your maintenance program by going to maintainx.com. That's maintain in the letter X.com.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Just a quick question. Does it encrypt your online traffic the same as NordVPN?
No, but it protects your device. Just pop that CD in and you're good to go.
But it will stop your internet service provider and other snoopers from monitoring you online, right?
Oh, no, not really. It won't stop online snoopers or block annoying ads. In fact, forget what I said at the beginning of this ad. This ad is now about NordVPN. I just realized that an antivirus is only half protection online. So get better online protection with the NordVPN Black Friday deal. It will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. This Black Friday, get NordVPN with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months. Yeah!
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, still raining here in the metro. Roads are a mess. Adolescence. When you think of adolescence, what are the ages you usually would think about, Dan?
I mean, teenage years, right?
Yeah,
maybe into your very early 20s.
Something, especially as boys, you get asked like, when are you going to grow up? When are you going to be? When are you going to be a man?
I got asked that last week.
New study from the United Kingdom. This is so interesting to me because the brain is crazy, right? Like the fact that you have something so unformed, undeveloped that gets filled with knowledge, retains information. You think, well, how does that even work? How does that even happen? And then you get older and you feel things start to change. Scientists have revealed that adolescence now, from a brain standpoint, lasts at least through your 30s. But you could make a case it lasts through your 50s. 4,000 people up to the age of 90 have brain scans to kind of take a look at this. And they find 5 distinct phases and the turning points. And you think about this. Think about whether this makes sense to you, these turning points. Age 9, 32, 66, and 83. The brain is in the adolescent phase until our early 30s when we peak. And this goes to why the risk of mental health disorders and the risk of dementia varies in life. So childhood is really birth to age 9. And if you think about it, think about like your earliest memories. Now, some of us can come up with things when we were 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's about where mine stopped.
But that's like your earliest memory. Think about like a chunk of time that you can really remember, a series of events, Like, yeah, for me, that probably, 9 would be what? 4th grade? I remember like little scenes from kindergarten, 1st grade, little moments. But like when you think about 4th and 5th grade, like I can remember more of a chunk of time. And certainly my ability to reason and think, very different, like after age 9 than at least what I remember. And I would say more relevant, like what I witnessed in my own kids. Where after you turn 9 or 10, you just have a different ability to talk to your kids. It's all sort of different there. Now, you and I are in the adulthood phase.
Debatable.
Childhood is when the brain is rapidly increasing in size, but also thinning out all the overabundance of connections. So when you're born, you have all these synapses, but you don't need every brain cell to be connected to every other brain cell. So the brain is sort of wandering around because everything is connected in your brain, and you sort of thin it out, and then you get more efficient. Connections go through a period of ruthless efficiency at age 9. But this is also the time where the greatest risk of mental health disorders begin because your brain is doing that work.
Yeah, that makes
You're
sense.
like, oh, so interesting. Just that is like an aha moment. You're like, whoa. This is the only time in life when your brain's network of neurons gets more efficient. And it keeps
It's all downhill from 9?
No. From 9 to 32.
Okay.
Your brain just keeps kind of working it out. So there used to be this, and this I do think, this is some early information on this, but if you extend this out, a lot of this stuff about like, oh, we can't prosecute 15-year-olds the same way we would 19-year-olds.
Sure.
Well, maybe our definition of adolescence as far as brain functioning is not exactly, we're putting that age in a way that the science doesn't necessarily back up. That perhaps we're thinking about maturity, not about actual brain function.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. I'm not advocating for a change of the way we do that.
Yeah,
but
don't let the Hennepin County attorney hear this. We won't
Right.
prosecute anybody under the age of 40.
Now, we're in the 3-decade brain stability time. So the doctors say this is a plateau of intelligence and personality, which sounds good, but also if you unpack, that sounds bad.
Sounds like doctors that have never listened to this show.
Well, a plateau of intelligence, certainly not rising.
And I suppose there's no definition of how high a plateau has to be.
That's right. Early aging kicks in at 66, but it's not at the other point. The other points are sort of major inflection points.
It's more of a gradual.
It's a little more gradual, it says. That instead of one whole brain, your brain starts becoming separated into regions. So like the way this article describes it, it's like a band member starting a solo project. But because you can't connect everything together, and then of course, 83 plus, you're like,
it's been a good run.
Just very interesting how these ages align with like puberty, the health concerns that come, but the fact that your brain is doing this as well. This is an early sort of research project. They're going to want to do more scans to be able to try to get a sense for like, how does menopause affect these sorts of things? So they didn't scan enough people to sort of separate men and women and try to break into all of these granular things, but whoo, brain science, man. I find it very, very interesting. Maybe it's because I'm just looking for some explanations to my own stupidity. Could somebody break that? What happened to me? What happened to my brain? We'll break in just a minute. DeRusha Eats. Thanksgiving is this week. We're going to talk about what food you would kick off your plate. One food you get to boot. 651-461-9226. Drive time back in a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I want you to make an appointment at Tureen Dermatology. It's Jason here for my dermatologist, the experts, the best, the top people in Minnesota. I would say in America, but I don't know. Don't ask me, ask the experts. Tureen Dermatology takes care of me, and I love them so much. I brought my wife. I brought my teenage kids for acne treatment. My sister-in-law goes there. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law. Everybody's going to Tureen. That is how much I believe in Dr. Mohiba Tureen. That's how much I believe in all of the people who work for Tureen Dermatology. 9 locations all over the Twin Cities. I go to Roseville. Lakeville would love to see you. Hudson would love to see you. Egan, they got you covered for sure, and you can request an appointment at TureenDermatology.com. One place gets you to all of that. Now, if you go to that website today, TureenDermatology.com, click on store and click on Black Friday. They got all sorts of deals that end on Cyber Monday. So I want you to get in on that. If you've been thinking about a skin pen treatment or you've been thinking about any kind of cosmetic treatment, you can go and for $300, they throw in a $50 gift card for free. Pretty cool. So check it out. Tureen, Tareen, dermatology.com.
They say these are the sounds of Minnesota.
We're gonna win.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
But if you really want to hear Minnesota, listen here. The sound of Minnesota is on News Talk 830 WCCO.
MGM Wine and Spirits is the choice for savings, service, and a great selection of ice-cold beer, liquor, wine, alternative, and non-alcoholic beverages. With over 25 locations in the Twin Cities and beyond, there's an MGM near you. Head to mgmwineandspirits.com to find one. Follow MGM on social media for updates on amazing sales throughout the year. Make great moments with MGM Wine and Spirits, your locally owned and operated choice for over 50 years. Save time, save money. Shop MGM.
You want to feel important. You want to be part of something bigger, something that matters and that can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We felt that way too. I am Sergeant First Class David Crow from Farmington, Minnesota, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Minnesota Army National Guard soldiers. We are people just like you, and together we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com/MN to find out more. Sponsored by the Minnesota Army National Guard, aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sometimes the best thing we can do at WCCO is shut up and let our listeners do the talking.
You guys at CCO, I love how you reach out into the community and you can affect tangible change. What you guys do for the Union Gospel Mission, what you did for this National Bone Marrow Donor Program. I so appreciate you. And I want more and more people to introduce their kids to radio. We cannot let this go. It's free. It's accessible for everyone. Because I'll tell you what, Spotify, they're not going to build a park down the street from your house. iTunes is not going to raise money. We have got to start supporting radio stations.
This isn't an ad. It's a thank you.
I support you guys. I've got my insurance through the Canopy Group. I met with Matt Gutman to create an estate plan this summer. I take this kid to Stretch Lab, and I just dropped off a title yesterday for my second car donation at Newgate School. I love it. I love the city, and I love you guys. Thanks for doing what you do.
You're the reason we do what we do. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Imagine placing an investment or trade without fear. Knowing that big institutions have taken the same trade as you, pushing the price higher, which only they can do. You get to ride the wave of institutional demand. If not, your plan will protect you from the downside. This is how our students are taught to invest in trade. Right now, you can sign up for a free investing class where we'll outline our strategy for following the smart money. Text investing to 210-210. We'll also review strategies for growing a retirement portfolio, how professionals profit when stocks are falling, and how to protect your investments against inflation. With a 25-year history, local classrooms, and one-on-one support, you're not alone. And now it's your turn. Sign up for a free investing class today. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are red all over. 252 southbound, 2 cars got tangled up at 70th Avenue and 66th Avenue. That's in Brooklyn Center. 494 eastbound, there's a fender bender at Normandale Boulevard and Highway 100. Expect a 19-minute delay. 169 northbound. Traffic incident at Anderson Lakes Parkway and 494. They've got quite a few cars pulled over and things are at a standstill. That's a look at traffic. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm Mary Jo Copeland. Sharing and Caring Hands has been helping people in need for 41 years thanks to your generosity. To learn more, to donate, go to sharingandcaringhands.org. Make a difference in the lives of others and give hope to the children. May God bless you all.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Rain City. We're seeing lots of rain in the metro area. It is snowing to the north in Alexandria. Here is Chris Shaffer.
Our first big snow of the season. A winter storm warning in effect until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The wind is going to pick up tonight, northwest 15 to 25 miles per hour, and the snow will stack up, especially in the northern suburbs and points farther north, where 4 to 6 inches could accumulate. Expect less in the southern metro. Tomorrow it's all out of here, but mostly cloudy, windy, and cold. Only a high of 30. A high of 29 and still windy on Thanksgiving Day.
Temperature's just too warm here in the metro. Looks like it'll be 9 or 10 o'clock before the snow starts falling. It's still 45. Raining, though, here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Good gig. That is a good gig.
On News Talk 830 WCCO. DeRusha. He has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
And DeRusha Eats brought to you by our friends at the Minnesota Pork Board. It is Thanksgiving week. And I want to know what you want to get out of your Thanksgiving table. What food would you kick off your Thanksgiving plate? 651-461-9226. Already a lot of texts coming in with people who hate a certain Thanksgiving dish. I was thinking about this because I'm going to my family. And my family does Thanksgiving differently than my wife's family. My wife's family is not married to the turkey, so they don't care. They do exactly what Lethal on YouTube is saying. Lethal would boot the turkey from the Thanksgiving plate. He says, I like the sides considerably more than the turkey. Alyssa's family, we usually don't do the turkey. Yeah. My family back home, they're doing the turkey. It's all traditional. Once we really messed with our family, and Dan, you're never going to guess what we brought to the DeRusha house in Chicago. That got everybody mad at us.
I'm sensing a pork product of some kind.
No.
It wasn't a ham?
No.
Then I have no idea what you're doing.
A vegetable.
I thought we were doing a bit.
We brought an.
It's your bit with the pork.
There's no angle on that.
It's pork is sponsoring this segment. How can you not do the pork bit?
My family does they do a ham for Thanksgiving. Sometimes they do a ham and a turkey for Thanksgiving. The ham is for Christmas. I brought a vegetable that wasn't doused in brown sugar. Because the normal Thanksgiving table has green bean casserole, which is doused in cream of mushroom soup. You know what? I like green bean casserole. If you don't, you can fight me. You can fight me if you're going to take that green bean casserole away from me. I like it. I want the canned green beans or the frozen. I want the trashiest green beans you have. I want the cream of mushroom soup. I want the fried turkey onions in a can. I don't need it to be fancy. I want the grossest green bean casserole possible. Jonathan's in Minneapolis. Jonathan, Thanksgiving food you would kick off the plate. What do you want out of here?
Okay, first off, good afternoon. And what the heck are you guys doing at work on the week of Thanksgiving? This is ridiculous. You should be with your family.
I agree. We should cancel the radio. Should we just play reruns? Can we put on reruns of Seinfeld or Coach, or what do we do here?
the best of Jonathan, whatever. It's okay. Okay, to the original question, now that we got that out of the way. For me, if I see one thing of cranberry sauce in a can, that jello-y, gross thing, it makes me cringe every time I see it when I go over to somebody's house, which I'm going over to 3 people's houses. Thank you to everybody that invited me over to their house for the holidays, because they all found out I wasn't going, and it was very kind of people to invite me. But no, just the taste of that makes me gag. And the other thing is the pumpkin with the marshmallow thingy. What is that? Is that like a Minnesota thing? I've never had that in my entire life. I don't understand.
You talking about like sweet potatoes,
or like the like it's a jello kind of.
Yeah, it's like they have like the pumpkin, and it's all marshmallowy, and it has like nuts in it, and it's really disgusting.
That sounds horrible.
That sounds awful.
Ugh.
It's awful. It's awful. And I'm just sitting there going, I am very grateful. And first off, I want to say thank you to you and to Dan, because you guys have been nothing great with me, and I really do appreciate you, and I want you to have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving with your friends and family. And I'm going to shut up now, because you probably need to call Sam or whoever or, to make sure they're going to get on their plane tomorrow, because this weather's just freaking reeks. And God bless the people in St. Paul. Good luck to you guys.
Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan's always a lot, and I appreciate that about him. I like that.
But he gets it. So it's like, he's going to get it all out and then be done. So he gets the bit.
I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it. Yams and marshmallows. That's gross. Not at our Thanksgiving.
That's what I thought he was describing, but it seemed like it was something else.
Might be. When my birthday lands on Thanksgiving, says a texter.
That's a buzzkill.
I get short rib lasagna. That sounds very good.
Never had that.
Jason, seeing as I prepare the whole meal, I wouldn't kick anything off my plate except the yams, which my wife insists on. I feel like every family or every person has sort of a bit, right? Where you're like, well, I insist on this.
Right. But if you're the person that is basically preparing the meal, shouldn't you get ultimate veto power over what's there and what's not?
No, because you at some point are going to want to have sex with your wife again.
That's a good point.
So if she insists on yams,
then
you're going to give her the yams.
Yeah, give her the yams.
Yeah, that's
euphemism not intended.
Well,
look, for me, with all of my food abnormality, and this is, like yesterday I was arguing against you calling me weird. Today I'll argue for you calling me weird.
Okay.
When it comes to food. The real answer for me is all of it. I don't particularly care.
You don't
for
want any of it.
Any Thanksgiving stuff. It's just none of it. But if I had to pick one, and this is going to be highly controversial,
okay,
which is why I picked it, it would be the mashed potatoes. I can't stand mashed potatoes, and that's twofold. It's a twofold thing, because I love other potato products, but it's mostly a texture thing for me. That's where my food insanity really kicks in. If I don't like a texture or something, it gets real bad real quickly. So it's mostly a texture thing for me. But there was also an incident from my childhood.
Oh,
where we
had a deep-seated,
I have a deep
mashed
So
potato incident?
we went, I had distant relatives that had a farm down in Lake City, and we went to visit them there. And I think I was probably on the fence with mashed potatoes at that point, where I wasn't really sure. And then Uncle Pete comes up for dinner and says, you want some taters, Dan? And puts a big blob of them on my plate. And I recoiled in horror, as though he had just thrown like a living organ on my plate of some sort or whatever. And that was it. I was done with mashed potatoes from that point forward. Can't stand them.
So it's very funny, because mashed potatoes for me was a moment of being accepted into the family. So my grandpa, my mom's dad, always mashed the potatoes. So you'd have the big pot boiling.
Yeah.
And then he would have the big old masher, and he would do it. And there was a point where I, as a youngster, was invited to mash the potato.
Oh, and that was like a
rite of passage. Like,
yes.
You're old enough, you can be trusted.
You are being bequeathed with the masher.
I was allowed to use the masher. And I was allowed to add my own. Couldn't add too much pepper because even growing up in suburban Chicago, very similar aversion to what I would describe as flavor. Some would say spice. It's pepper we're talking about, but I would get to a little fresh ground pepper, a little salt, a little butter, a little milk, mashed potatoes. So for me, it's more the emotion. Am I a mashed potatoes guy? It's fine.
Yeah. No. Get rid of it.
I think it's fine. What I would get rid of, I think also is controversial. I don't really care about the stuffing.
Ooh.
I know. Like, it's fine. But at a certain point, if you're creating a food product that involves you taking a couple of loaves of bread, sitting them on the counter so they can get stale for a couple of days so you can make something out of it, is that what we want?
Seems problematic.
I'd just rather have like a beautiful piece of bread. Why are we doing this? I don't know.
You're not going to get any argument from me.
Now, Alyssa's mom makes it with chestnuts, which is delicious. And also, I admire the chestnut flavor. But like, again, it's kind of a big old mushy meh. It's not my thing. The stovetop, something about Thanksgiving brings out my like non-bougie food person.
Okay.
Because I like stovetop box stuffing. Alyssa's dad always wants the stovetop because he doesn't like the chestnut. This is the funny thing about marriage. So like, imagine you're married to somebody for, I don't know, 40, 50 years. And wouldn't you just compromise at some point and be like, fine.
It's one day.
I'll eat. You're stupid, whatever. Nope. Alyssa's mom makes the stuffing she wants with the chestnut. And then Pete gets the stovetop.
And everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy. We're going to break in just a minute. Well, something you're going to want to do maybe after Thanksgiving dinner. DeRusha Eats, back in a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, the Minnesota pig farmers, they love the turkey farmers. They all get along. They're all so important to Minnesota, to our economy, to our future, to inspiring young people to jump into farming and be a part of that way of life. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board. They know it. They know that this Thursday is not their night. But you can have bacon for breakfast the next day. You can have a pork chop for dinner over the weekend. You can have a rack of ribs on Sunday while you're watching Green Bay and Minnesota square off. So many options, so many different ways you can taste what pork can do. Put flavor on the table is what they're saying over at the Pork Board. And you can get all sorts of recipe ideas and inspiration. A great recipe for tangy grilled back ribs. I love this veggie gochujang stir fry that's on there. Just takes 12 minutes to make that easy dinner. If you're looking for something on Wednesday night, tomorrow night before Thanksgiving, go to the grocery store, go to the butcher shop. And let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
The holidays will be here soon.
And whether you've been coming to Thielen Meats and Piers for generations
or looking to start a new family tradition,
you'll want to put us on your holiday wish list.
We're the #1 meat market in Minnesota.
We add those melt-in-your-mouth moments to your holiday celebration.
High-quality meats that keep our customers coming back for more.
That's why we've become a holiday tradition for so many folks.
No meal's complete without Thielen Meats
of Piers.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country. But Congressman Tom Emmer is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Tom Emmer at 202-225-2331 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
169 northbound, there's a traffic incident being reported. A few cars on the side of the road slowing things down. That's at Anderson Lakes Parkway and 494. Expect a 15-minute delay. 494, there's a fender bender at Normandale Boulevard that hasn't been cleared yet. That's right at Normandale and Highway 100. Expect a 21-minute delay. 77 northbound, it's at a standstill due to an accident right around Killaboo Drive. 35 southbound, there's a crash where the 35s come together there at Crystal Lake Road. Look out for 3 cars on the shoulder, slowing things down. That's a look at traffic. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get the perfect holiday gift. Chanhassen Dinner Theater's gift cards never expire and can be used for any show. White Christmas, the concert series, Stevie Ray's Comedy Cabaret, or coming soon, the high-rolling musical spectacular Guys and Dolls. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Chanhassen Dinner Theater. Get the perfect gift at chanhassendt.com. Raining in most of the metro, snowing up north. 2 to 6 inches by morning. We should be done by the end of the morning drive tomorrow. Low of 26. Tomorrow only up to 30. Thanksgiving only up to 29. Right now in Minneapolis, it's 44 on CTO.
This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Broadcasting live from the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship Studio. Single game tickets are on sale now at worldjuniorsmn26.com.
So after dinner on Thanksgiving, we're all feeling a little loaded up, right?
With food.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Tricia Pasricha in the Washington Post has a recommendation. Try a fart walk.
A what?
A fart walk to ease the pressure after that big Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, my.
Gastroenterologists have an old trick. Because you're sitting at that table, loaded up. This is a real story in the Washington Post today with, frankly, a graphic image that is horrifying. They have a photo of some young woman walking in a park with squiggly lines emanating from both sides of her body. Is that how we visualize that? But good news for the adolescents in our audience. You have permission now in front of Grandma to say, sorry, Grandma, got to go take a fart walk.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
As the owner, coach, and quarterback of your small business, you call the shots. From inventory to payroll and more. Now it's time to bring in LendSeek, your funding MVP. No delay of game here. Get up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours for business lines of credit or term loans. Let LendSeek's AI marketplace assist you in making the winning play and score that touchdown. Apply at lendseek.com, LENDSEEK.com.
On the air at AM 830 and 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Together with live streams via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps. This is News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There are talks underway to convince Russia to sign on to the latest peace plan, but Moscow doesn't appear to be on board, launching a deadly barrage of missiles into Ukraine today. President Zelensky.
There was yet another massive attack on our country, so we cannot relax or forget that Ukraine still needs defense support, security support of our resilience every day.
Elizabeth Palmer has the latest on the peace negotiations.
The next step may well be a visit by President Zelensky to the White House. Could be quite soon, before the end of the month, to iron out details with President Trump on a final version. And then the agreement will have to be put to the Russians. And then anything could happen, including a flat-out rejection.
Reporter Katie Weiss has the latest on the holiday travel and some advice on when to start your getaway.
If you plan to drive and beat the traffic, you want to leave during some off times. Traffic is busiest during the middle of the day through after the 5 o'clock rush. So if you can help it, try to leave earlier in the morning or later in the evening to go see your loved ones this holiday week.
The makers of By Heart infant formula say tests of products tied to a botulism outbreak showed that all of the company's products may have been contaminated. More than 30 babies in 15 states have gotten sick. The outbreak began in August, but some health officials say infants may have gotten sick after consuming By Heart formula as far back as 2024. A Virginia high school football coach who's been missing for days is the subject of a manhunt. Robin Lawson is with the Virginia State Police.
The Virginia State Police has obtained 10 warrants for missing high school football coach Travis. 5 counts of child pornography and 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor.
He was a coach at a school in southwestern Virginia. Vicky Barker reports the British government is going after the country's sweet tooth.
The British government has just extended the sugar tax imposed on sodas to include milk-based drinks as well. Prepackaged milkshakes and coffees and sweetened yogurt drinks covered under the new rule, part of an ongoing attempt to fight the growing problem of obesity and tooth decay in and children.
U.S. consumers were much less confident in the economy this month in the aftermath of the government shutdown and with inflation still stubborn. The Conference Board said today its Consumer Confidence Index dropped to its second lowest reading since April, when President Trump announced the tariffs. On Wall Street, stocks were higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is still raining, and it is 43 degrees at 5:03. Good evening. I'm Susie Jones. This hour's top story is the weather, of course, that rain turning to snow later tonight with gusty winds as well, expected to make travel difficult. WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Shaffer telling WCCO Radio's Jason DeRusha what we can expect.
It'll snow while you sleep. Now, in the morning, yes, you'll have to do some shoveling. You'll have to dust off your car. I shouldn't say dust off. It'll be like scraping it off because it's going to be a wet, heavy snowfall.
Yeah.
But I promise you, by lunchtime tomorrow, you'll be zipping down the highway at 55 miles per hour.
As for snow in the metro, he says the northern suburbs could see between 3 to 6 inches of snow, while the southern suburbs 2 to 4 inches. Federal agents once again clashing with protesters in St. Paul. Agents going to a family home in the Payne Phelan neighborhood about 10:30. They reportedly arrested a person and were met with a large crowd of protesters.
What they're doing right now isn't right. If there was a warrant for somebody's arrest, people get arrested all the time. And it is probably 1 or 2 officers or maybe 4 people. But to have this type of presence, like this is theater. They want to put fear in the community.
Officers used tear gas and rubber bullets against the crowd that included reporters. Mayor Melvin Carter says the body camera footage from the police officers present will be reviewed to evaluate their actions and the overall situation.
Community members are frustrated. And, this is what we see ICE agents doing all over the country, is showing up, creating havoc, creating chaos, and leaving us with, leaving local communities trying to figure out how to kind of navigate the trauma that they create. And that's part of the troubling practice that they're creating.
Governor Walz, in a statement, said this afternoon he was not aware of the operation. An officer-involved shooting in Plymouth has left the suspect hospitalized.
Police were called to a home in the 6100 block of Quinwood Lane North in response to a domestic disturbance involving an adult male knocking on a residential window. When they got there, they were confronted by a man who was armed with a handgun in a parking lot. Shots were fired and the man was hit and taken to North Memorial Health in Robbinsdale. The Minnesota BCA is leading the investigation. The officers involved are on standard paid administration leave. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Finally, a big day for Minnesota's official state turkey, presented today at the state capitol by Governor Tim Walz. The event looked to highlight the state, which leads the country in overall turkey production. Second Harvest Heartland CEO Sarah Moberg says despite Minnesota being a leader, hunger is still an uphill battle.
So while SNAP benefits have been restored following the federal shutdown, the work is far from over. Legislation passed this summer will significantly reduce benefits for many Minnesota families at a time when economic challenges are already making it harder to afford food.
The Minnesota Turkey Growers Association announcing today they'll donate $10,000 worth of turkey products to Second Harvest. WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
This holiday season, let's make sure everyone can fill their plates. Donate today at twoharvest.org/give. 169 northbound, traffic incident reported over there, Anderson Lakes Parkway and 494. Expect a 15-minute delay. 77 northbound is at a crawl. There's an accident right around Killebrew Drive and 494. Be aware of that one. 35 southbound, where the 35s meet down where Crystal Lake Road is in Burnsville. Look out for 3 cars on the shoulder that are backing things up. Traffic update is brought to you south traffic update is brought to you Second Harvest Heartland. 1 in 5 Minnesota families can't afford the food they need. But this holiday, we can come together as one Minnesota family to help. Donate now at 2harvest.org/give. That's 2harvest.org/give. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren K. Meyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Here is WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Shaffer with the forecast.
Much of the state in a winter storm warning until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The snow will stack up this evening into the night. We could see 2 to 6 inches by sunrise tomorrow. 2 inches more likely in the southern metro, 6 inches more possible in the northern suburbs. Tomorrow, the snow's out early. Mostly cloudy. It stays windy. 30. That's it for the high, but it's going to feel like the teens all day. That'll be the case on Thanksgiving as well. Dry, but mostly cloudy and breezy with a high of 29.
Still raining, 43 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
From what's trending to what's worth your time. Stay informed by staying connected. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
It's not even going to snow. I got to call it right now. Is this the true? Do I handle snowstorms the way Minnesota Vikings fans handle Vikings games? I'm defeated before it even started.
It sounds eerily similar.
I mean, I trust Chris Shaffer, don't get me wrong. But like only so much. We're this is the pattern. This is how we cope with snow. It starts with the hysteria before the forecast, and I did celebrate, as all should, by going to a store. Got to stock up. Better stock up. What if I'm just dumb? But I went to the liquor store today because I need wine for Thanksgiving. That was my assignment from my mother. She's like, why don't you bring the booze? I said, you know what I do best. Thank you. So I went to the liquor store. Had to tell my friend Chuck, I have 15 minutes. Like, let's go. Chuck likes to talk. Dan, solo vino in St. Paul would be like, for multiple reasons. One, you don't drink.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And two, well, they have NA beverages if you wanted that. And two, there's a lot of jibber jabber, which I like.
Oh.
I'm mad.
Yeah, no, that's your Valhalla.
I met like 3 interesting people at that store today.
I would die.
And that's why I had to say, Chuck, 15 minutes. We can't do the whole thing. But at that point, I already had.
Yeah, how far were you before you had to put the 15-minute clock on?
I probably had 45 minutes in at the store.
Sure you did.
I usually pack a lunch before I go to that store. There are certain stores where you're like, this is going to be a moment. But I stocked up. Some of you have bottled water as if you're preparing for the Armageddon. They're calling for 1 to 3 inches. It's going to fall overnight. We'll hear from Chris Shaffer in a minute. Let's get you up to date with the DeRush Hour News Headlines.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRush Hour Headlines, starting with the lead.
And our lead story is that fallout from another day of apparent ICE action in St. Paul and protesters arriving to let their voices be heard. In our first hour, we had a conversation about whether or not it is wise to protest at the scene of a law enforcement action. Now, there is a difference between the wisdom of protesting and the legality. Of course, it is legal to protest. Of course. It is your right to protest, and if you choose to exercise your protest at the scene of a law enforcement action, then that is your right. But what comes with that also is the possibility that things go south, that 1 or 2 or 3 people in your group get maybe a little too close to law enforcement, or that law enforcement gets a little too antsy. St. Paul police did pepper spray some protesters. Our own Taylor Rivera got pepper sprayed as well. She was part of the group. She got caught in the cloud. Pepper spray doesn't only hit the intended target. There are also reports that non-lethal rubber bullets were fired on protest. City of St. Paul is investigating all this stuff. They'll look at all of the video to see if it was warranted or not. I would say there is a certain assumption of the risk when you show up at a law enforcement action. And whether you think that is worth it or not is up to you. I am not sure that gets you anywhere. This, to a certain degree, is a result of an election. People voted. One of the key issues in the election was immigration. And while I think what is happening is disgusting, I also understand that there are a lot of people who think it's high time we do something about this issue. An election was had. Within the last 20 minutes or so, the chief of police of St. Paul, Axel Henry, shared a video statement talking a little bit. There's a little bit of information in here. I want you to hear from the chief.
Earlier this morning, we were notified by our partners in the federal government that a detail was taking place involving Homeland Security and that they had been involved in an incident where an arrest was attempted and at least one vehicle had been struck and possibly an agent was in that vehicle. I responded personally to that area, and as you can imagine, a crowd of folks had begun to gather, as we've seen around the country. To be very clear, the St. Paul Police Department is committed to supporting people's First Amendment rights, and we also encourage our residents to monitor these events, whether you want to come and watch or you want to videotape them for yourselves to ensure that everything is happening in a lawful fashion. The perimeter of that scene that had been set up was pulled down by people who were protesting what those agents were doing. And reports came out that people were starting to arm themselves with rocks and sticks. Because of that, I asked additional officers to come to the scene to make the scene safe for both those who were there to protest those events and for the agents themselves. I understand that our public is greatly frustrated by these issues, but be clear, the St. Paul police officers are not doing immigration enforcement, but we do have a responsibility to make sure that laws aren't broken in our city. Our separation ordinance here in St. Paul, which there will be a link posted to on this video, 44.01, guides what we do in and around this topic. At no time did any St. Paul employee violate that ordinance or.
So you get the idea. It is a tough situation. And so we'll wait to see more videos, really, to judge if what police did was correct. But certainly people arming themselves with sticks and rocks, if that's true. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Next up in the lead, it is the snow. We are monitoring. We are waiting. So many people are traveling over the next day or two. And right now, if you're trying to get around, it's all about the rain. But I visited with Chris Shaffer last hour where we discussed when the snow is going to fall.
We'd already have a couple inches on the ground for certain. It'd be a wet, heavy snow, and your traffic reports would be much more numerous, and people would be getting home late and all that stuff. So this storm, in a sense, at least for the metro, is really timing out great because we're going to have the rain push through. Let me grab the glossary again. There's a dry slot that's going to come through, so there'll be a break in the rain, basically. And then the snow is going to arrive, but it likely doesn't hit the metro till this evening, like after 7 o'clock in the western metro, maybe 9 o'clock in the eastern suburbs. So most people at that time, you're hunkered down. You're watching Dancing with the Stars. You're doing whatever you're doing.
Right.
So it'll snow while you sleep. Now in the morning, yes, you'll have to do some shoveling. You'll have to dust off your car. I shouldn't say dust off. It'll be like scraping it off because it's going to be a wet, heavy snowfall.
Yeah.
But I promise you, by lunchtime tomorrow, you'll be zipping down the highway at 55 miles per hour.
All right. So pretty good news for people who are traveling tomorrow, but for sure tonight, assuming that the temperatures do chill down a bit. Right now, it's just too warm. Heavy rain for sure, and traffic has been a real mess as well. We'll have an update for you at the bottom of the hour in regards to that. Bad news for really what has been a shining light of a fitness program in Minnesota.
And we want to pump you up.
The Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota is dropping YMCA facilities in the Twin Cities and Lifetime facilities statewide from its Silver Sneakers program. Seniors are not happy. 26,000 seniors are either going to have to find a new gym or switch to a different insurance company to have their physical fitness center fees covered. Blue Cross is based here in the Twin Cities. They say, look, there's still 600 fitness centers across the state that can be a part of this. It just shows some of the pressures that companies are having and trying to figure out ways to cut costs. Now, YMCAs in greater Minnesota are still good to go. They are still covered. And so that is good news. But definitely a bummer if you're going to like Southdale Y or the Y in downtown Minneapolis, the Lifetime Club in Edina. But costs are going up. These costs in some of the gyms are going up as well. So that's part of what is going on. Blue Cross is the biggest provider for those Medicare supplement policies, which a lot of seniors purchase. And so there you go. One final note about a way maybe you could save a little money left in the last couple of hours of today.
Our state fair is a great state fair. Don't miss it, don't even be late.
One day only, the Minnesota State Fair is having a flash sale. And this is a pretty good deal. That's the reason I'm sharing this with you right now. Tickets this year are going to go up. Are tickets $20 this year?
$20.
So $15 to go to the state fair. It's only good today. You can only buy 12 tickets per order. But let me click on it right now to make sure it's still available. Yeah. You can go and buy these state fair tickets. $15 a crack. You know, $5 a ticket to save. If you go a lot or you're a family of 5, you're saving $25. That's significant. That is significant. So I am in line right now. It's one of those websites where they try to make sure you don't get overwhelmed by it, but it's a one day only flash fair, lowest price of the year. They could run out of these discounted tickets. And if so, I want you to call me and we're going to storm the state fair together because what a load, absolute load that would be, right? Last year, 1.94 million people attended the state fair, 5th busiest fair in history. Oh, my button turned green.
There we go.
And so there it is. It's legit. I just like to check this in real time. If you're watching this on a video stream, you can see, and I am very cautious with what web pages I share.
Smart.
Because I don't need any sort of scandal. Somebody looking at all my web tabs. Like, what's this? Jason's got My Talk up on the screen. Is he trying to get another job at My Talk? What's going on? Never know. Never know. That's the DeRUSH Hour News Headlines. So you just go to the State Fair website. It's mnstatefair.org. In just a minute, we've been talking quite a bit about immigration action going on in Minnesota. Yesterday or the day before, we were talking about the federal government ending temporary protection status for Somalis. Well, that is not the end of that story. Another group, a large ethnic group here in the Twin Cities that doesn't get a lot of attention. They also are having their status taken away. The Karen in Minnesota. We'll talk about that next.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ETHOS.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Your daily detour into sharper conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRUSH Hour News Headlines going in depth now with another group in the Twin Cities that has found themselves targeted by the Trump administration. Protections for refugees from Myanmar, the Karen population in Minnesota, which you maybe don't know a ton about. The Karen ethnic group is quite large in Minnesota, 40,000 ethnic and religious minorities from the Burma region have now found their protection, that temporary protection, the same thing that has been rolled back for Somalis, Minnesotans, or at least being threatened to roll back. Now the Department of Homeland Security is announcing that it is ending temporary asylum protection for the Karen. And so to get some insight as far as what they know about that is Alice Buckner, who is the executive director of the Karen Organization of Minnesota. She's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Alice, what do you guys know about exactly how this is going to affect people in Minnesota?
No, not exactly. We're still collecting a lot of information and talking with different stakeholders on different sides of the elephant.
We know that this protective status was granted in 2021. Civil war, military coup, Myanmar is, I think most people agree, and you know better than I, but most people would agree that this is sort of a textbook example of the kind of place that America has always said, like, all right, we're going to give temporary protected status to folks here because it's just not safe, right?
Correct. And we already have such a positive community that's contributing strongly to the economy, active in our workforce, engaging in our higher education, integrated into our faith communities and other communities, community activities. And when the more we get to know folks who have come over, and the more we understand just how dangerous things are and how many families are concerned for their loved ones who are still over there, we certainly don't want anyone to be sent back to a situation where they're in harm's way.
Minnesota does have the largest Karen population in America, about 20,000 people, mostly living in Ramsey County. Do you have any sense as to what, are most of those folks here under TPS, or are there some who are, many are citizens, right? Refugees who are here?
I would say it's a small number. We don't know the exact number because the data is not readily split out. by cultural or ethnic group. So we don't know the exact number, but for me, even if it's only 2 people, it is not something I would want to do for them to have to go back against their will to a place that's dangerous.
The Secretary of Homeland Security says it is safe now for citizens to go back to Myanmar, saying that Burma has made a lot of progress. TPS, it was supposed to be temporary. It's in the name. It's temporary. But, this is a larger thing. I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying, okay, the Trump administration is ending this for not just Myanmar. Of course, it's Somalia and Afghanistan and Cameroon and Haiti. And, this is a bigger thing than whatever the specific situation is in Myanmar, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clearly. And it's hard for me to make an official comment that, but what we understand is that
Alice, I bet it's easy.
It is not as black and white as it's being described in terms of improvements there.
Well, I bet it's easier for you to give a personal reaction to this than it is in your official position with the Karen organization of Minnesota. Alice Buckner with us, the executive director there. It is, I think, look, I'll just say personally that this is not what I thought was going to be going on when the Trump administration said they were going to crack down on people who were problematic actors here in America. I think many people were like, yep, let's get on board with this. And to me, this doesn't fit in that category at all.
Well, thank you. We are a nonpartisan organization and we serve everyone equally, regardless of who they voted for or what their beliefs are. And we're just into common sense. We're a human services organization, so we promote well-being and safety for all. And no, these are not people who pose any kind of threat to our local community, and we just hate to see any kind of humanitarian situation where there is violence and conflict that will harm people.
Yeah. It's tough. It's got to be tough for, the Karen people who are here in Minnesota to be going through this right now.
It's tough for all of us. And we're going to get through it one step at a time.
Alice Buckner with the Karen Organization, Minnesota. We appreciate your time and we appreciate what you do for those folks who came here to find a safe and a loving place to live. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. That is the latest on the Karen population. And so we'll continue to follow this as we see. But you understand. I think we understand what's going on here. And it's tough. It's tough. We break in just a minute. Greg Swan is with us to explain the internet. Thank goodness. Big news this week about Waymo. Greg has some thoughts about those, what do we call them? Driverless cars. Pretty cool stuff. I've ridden in them. Greg has ridden in them as well. We'll talk to Greg about it in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
An AI search engine will have one of the most extensive photograph collections at its disposal. Getty Images announced a deal with San Francisco AI search firm Perplexity, giving Perplexity search and discovery tools access to Getty's library of around 150 million photographs, with Perplexity adding image credits and links to the source. Perplexity says it has more than 30 million monthly users. I'm Jason Brooks.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO Radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old. So.
And those Sleep Night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those Sleep Night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those Sleep Night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Just a quick question. Does it encrypt your online traffic the same as NordVPN?
No, but it protects your device. Just pop that CD in and you're good to go.
But it will stop your internet service provider and other snoopers from monitoring you online, right?
Oh, no, not really. It won't stop online snoopers or block annoying ads. In fact, forget what I said at the beginning of this ad. This ad is now about NordVPN. I just realized that an antivirus is only half protection online. So get better online protection with the NordVPN Black Friday deal. It will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. This Black Friday, get NordVPN with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months. Yeah!
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute. Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, we lost Darren, our traffic guy here, but I can tell you that the traffic, especially in the South Metro, is terrible. Very slow roads, especially 494 in the Bloomington area and, of course, in between Minneapolis and St. Paul. Everybody kind of dealing with the rain, slowing them down. Speaking of which, here's Chris Shaffer.
Our first big snow of the season. A winter storm warning in effect until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The wind is going to pick up tonight, northwest 15 to 25 miles per hour, and the snow will stack up, especially in the northern suburbs and points farther north, where 4 to 6 inches could accumulate. Expect less in the southern metro. Tomorrow it's all out of here, but mostly cloudy, windy, and cold. Only a high of 30, a high of 29, and still windy on Thanksgiving Day.
All right, weather is done. It's still raining in the metro, 44. Darren is back with us, and traffic has been such an issue today. I want to make sure we get enough time for that, so let's get to Darren.
35W northbound, there's a fender bender at Lake Street and 26th Street overpass. Highway 100 northbound, there's an accident at Excelsior Boulevard and West 36th Street. 494 southbound, there's a crash at Stone Road and Minnetonka Boulevard. There's problems all over the metro. The roads are wet and people are driving very cautiously, but there's a lot of backups and slowdowns. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
Petty BS you've been peddling in for decades.
I was going to say.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
From viral chaos to tech, pretend to understand. What's next? Let's find out. This is Greg Swan Explains the Internet.
Yeah, there we go. Greg Swan with us to explain the internet. Are you glad you're explaining the internet as opposed to doing traffic reporting today?
Well, I did drive here myself, and the roads are getting a little backed up, as you heard.
Not great. Not great, which is a perfect time to talk about this very interesting experiment that is coming to Minneapolis. It got a lot of buzz this week when Waymo confirmed that they were indeed coming to Minneapolis, not just doing a test here. We thought perhaps they would come and test like winter road conditions, but they're really coming here. A lot of people, I shouldn't say I was surprised. We're scared of things that are new and unknown.
We are.
But people were sort of freaking out about Waymo and these driverless cars coming to the Twin Cities.
And even since that news dropped last week, the first trucks pulled up. They offloaded these cars. There are human drivers sitting in them right now as they're starting to learn right before the first snow. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of hesitancy. There's a lot of like, I don't know.
It's understandable.
Feel good.
Were you nervous before you got in a Waymo?
So I've tried to get in a Waymo multiple times in Phoenix, in Austin, Texas, and just last week in Los Angeles, same place you also rode in a Waymo in downtown Los Angeles. So easy. We remember the time before Uber and before Lyft where you could pull your phone up and you couldn't just summon a car to wherever you were, right?
Right.
So now, using our connected devices, you can summon a car. There's just not a human in it. And yeah, I was a little nervous. There's not that person sitting in there. You're watching that wheel go back and forth. There's something in your lizard brain that says this ain't right.
It feels strange. Like I was sitting right behind the driver's seat and you kind of peer over and you're like, is this going to be okay?
And then I'll tell you what, then ours just pulled right over because we hadn't buckled our seatbelts yet. And it wanted those seat buckles buckled. And then it continued on. So,
well, there's an example where it's safer.
Example number one of it's safer. The night before, we were in a different rideshare service. Our driver came to pick us up. He was getting honked at as he was pulling in to pick us up. We got honked at twice. He ran a red light. Pulled in front of a bus. Very unsafe, right? We've all had these experiences. Someone else is driving us. Maybe it's a partner. Maybe it's a kiddo. But that notion that this is unsafe doesn't jive with the data, which says that human drivers kill 115 people a day. Oh my gosh. And I'm not making light of that.
Right.
That is a big deal. That's a crisis. Is that not a crisis?
I have said on the show that I think if any other factor was killing this many people, there would be protests in the street about it.
You would hope so. And we have had autonomous vehicles in Minnesota, in Eden Prairie. 2022, Southwest Metro Transit had a service called Prime that had a human on board, but the car was doing the driving. 17,000 rides out there. And you know what? It had a 96% satisfaction rate. And so we love to hate these things. And we've seen the videos. Oh my gosh, we've seen the videos of these.
And everyone can tell you about the
cars.
one time this one thing
and that you felt a little unsafe. And we're discounting the part where we feel unsafe from humans. And also, fast forward, I don't know, a week, 4 weeks, there's going to be a Waymo stuck in a snowbank in downtown Minneapolis. And it's going to make headlines everywhere. And in my drive home tonight, there will be a human driver stuck in a snowbank and no one will care.
Does this track with other types of technology where like humans are being replaced, where we assign this sort of expectation of zero flaws, where human performance, of course, has flaws?
Yeah, we tend to discount that. We confuse unfamiliarity or with where culture is, or even we've seen sci-fi movies where the robots take over. And again, this is associated with other things that we see in our lives, like AI, or even when social media was new or mobile was new. And I'll tell you, it's personal. I've been teaching some teenagers how to drive lately. And it's a weird
Is
thing.
this your
for us-
first driver?
I'm on to my third
You're on
driver,
your third, yeah.
but none of them have taken yet. This is my third attempt. And you realize how many different pieces of information you're pulling in, all the different factors you're trying to see, your depth perception, the law, other drivers. Wow.
Yeah.
There's so much there to keep track of. I'm not discounting the fact this is going to impact real humans, an entire industry of people.
Right.
And that is important too.
It is.
Two things can be true at the same time.
The Uber and Lyft drivers weren't exactly crying a river for the taxi drivers who were all losing their jobs.
This is
when
true.
Uber and Lyft showed up and kind of blew that industry out of the water.
This is true. And so one of the questions I got was, did you feel safe?
Yeah.
I felt so safe I forgot and was just zoned out on my phone. How about you?
Same, except for one moment, and it wasn't a moment that would make me feel unsafe, but there was a moment where another car had pulled over to the right. So it was sort of dropping people off at a club, and the Waymo just stopped. And so the scanning technology, the Waymo, was reading this other car that had pulled over as like a car that was stopped in front of it. When it wasn't, there was plenty of room for and I got to the point where I was about to call, because there's a button.
You can push a button.
So I was about to push the button.
Yeah.
And then it started moving again. It was a little like, whoa, we sat there for what in my head was 14 minutes, but was probably like 35 seconds.
Out of a 45-minute trip,
big
to have one of those issues, this is miraculous technology.
The only negative situation I had is in LA. There are some parts where like you're on an upper part of a road or a lower part of a road. And so I had ordered a Waymo and couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And there was no one to call, right? Because there's no one in the car. And it turned out that like I was being stupid and reading the little live GPS thing wrong, but I couldn't find it. And it was incredibly frustrating.
So my situation's on the other end, where it dropped us off at our destination and it took off, and I took a video so I could post it on Instagram and TikTok. And then I looked up and I said, I'm not in the right spot at all. And we had about a 5-minute walk to where we were supposed to go.
Right.
And again, I have also just this year been dropped off with a different rideshare service in the wrong spot.
For sure. Yeah.
So that again, may be my fault. I, as a human, I don't want to claim that's my fault.
I will say this, like my view is that I not only would happily ride Waymo in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, but I would buy a Waymo. Like if that were an option, I would prefer to have an autonomous vehicle drive me around. Then I would trust my own driving. And I like driving. I like cars. I get pleasure out of that. But also, I think I'm mediocre at best as far as my quality and my safety.
I think that we're going to see self-driving cars, actual self-driving cars, harm humans. There's this story that one ran over a beloved neighborhood cat, and that is sad. And also,
a human has never run over a cat.
The amount of damage that humans do to other humans in automobiles is serious. And so I too would really like that. And also, I have empathy for people who are like, I don't know, that seems a little weird. I don't know if I trust it.
I do get it.
What if the grid goes down? What if I get stuck? Like these are questions we will have to work through together.
It's so interesting. It is so interesting. It is impressive, though. It is impressive. All right, we'll weigh in. What questions do you have? What fears do you have? 651-461-9226. Greg and I also, as we're almost to Black Friday, although Black Friday, according to my email, started about 2 weeks ago. But it is a big holiday shopping time of the year. We're going to revisit those AI toys. Are you thinking about getting an AI-driven toy for your kid? We'll talk about that coming up.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I come into work every morning and I have no idea what direction it's going to go in. I mean, I have a plan, but then Steve Simpson will come in with some story and then we'll start talking about it. And then listeners will text us and we get a great conversation going. I am interviewing every different leader, athletes, coaches, and really some movers and shakers in the Twin Cities. And sometimes Jimmy will be like, hey, I got Senator Klobuchar in 5 minutes. Oh boy. Okay. I better be ready to go.
You already listen. We're just here to remind you why. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get a jump on your holiday shopping at Runnings with their Black Friday sale and gift card bonus. Friday, November 28th in store from 6 to noon. Get a $10 bonus gift card for every $50 pre-tax you spend. Get amazing deals and savings on all departments during the Black Friday gift card bonus event at your local Runnings store, November 28th. Get all of your holiday shopping done in one stop at Runnings. Shop one of the 90 locations across the upper Midwest, the Northeast, and America's Heartland. Go to Runnings.com for more information and a store near you.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country. But Congressman Tom Emmer is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Tom Emmer at 202-225-2331 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Do you know what the scariest sound to hear on a factory floor is? Silence. That means something somewhere broke. Production has stopped, and now you're paying your workers to wait while the team troubleshoots and tries to fix the problem. Finally, there's a proactive way to reduce equipment downtime, thanks to MaintainX. MaintainX is the asset management system that brings your maintenance downtime to zero. MaintainX lets you build preventative maintenance schedules, manage work orders in real time, and access the data you need to make better decisions. Downtime equals death in the production world, so make unplanned downtime a thing of the past. Try MaintainX for free. Control the daily operations of your business and transform your maintenance program by going to maintainx.com. That's maintain and the letter X.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Bring joy to every family. Donate at salvationarmynorth.org. 35W northbound, there's a fender bender at Lake Street and 26th Street overpass. 694 westbound, there's an accident at Long Lake Road and Silver Lake Road. That's up in New Brighton. 494 southbound, there's a crash at Stone Road and Minnetonka Boulevard. Expect an 11-minute delay over there. This holiday season, thousands of Minnesota families are struggling just to get by. You can help by donating to the Salvation Army. Your gift will provide comfort, hope, and joy to local families. Donate now at salvationarmynorth.org. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Notice your hair thinning and want to do something about it? Hair Restoration Institute of Minnesota has been helping men for over 30 years. Restore your hair today using your own hair for a permanent transplant. Book your free consultation at hrimn.com. You can't spell hair without HRI.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast is brought to you by the Hair Restoration Institute of Minnesota. Book your free consultation, as I did, at hrimn.com. Okay, the rain is out there. We haven't seen much movement in this line. It is raining at about St. Cloud and south and snowing to the northwest of that. Temperatures will drop tonight, and the rain will change over by around 9 o'clock. Should be done by the morning. 1 to 3 inches metro. Tomorrow, 30. Thanksgiving, 30. Kind of cold the next couple of days. Right now, it is still too warm to snow in the metro. It's 43 on CC.
This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Broadcasting live from the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship Studio. Single game tickets are on sale now at worldjuniorsmn26.com.
This is Greg Swan explains the internet.
All right, Craig Swan with us. We've been talking about Waymo, that technology. It is there are disruptive impacts of this, and texters are asking, all right, a couple people are concerned that you don't need a driver's license to ride in it, which is sort of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But
true.
I don't know. What do you think a driver's license is going to do? I guess like you're going to take over the vehicle. I don't know that that's even possible.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, the seat is pushed so far ahead. You're not going to be getting in that. That's going to shut down. Yeah. So you don't need a driver's license to ride in a cab either, but I'm not worried about having to take over in case of an accident. Yeah. I can empathize with
interesting.
that question.
Yeah, interesting issue for sure. I want to ask you about the AI toys, because we talked about this earlier.
In June.
We are so out in front on this thing. But there is a watchdog group, which as Dan Cook knows, one of my absolute favorite things is when the watchdog groups start coming for Christmas toys and telling us things like, that bow and arrow toy. That could be dangerous.
Shoot your eye out.
Could shoot your eye out.
I saw that in a movie.
It's the no duh of watchdog groups. But there is a warning about an AI teddy bear discussing sexually explicit things. There is a $99 bear powered by ChatGPT that discussed spanking, BDSM, and offered instruction on how to find knives. I know you have
only $100 to let your kid get exposed to something like that.
I mean, this is you'd have to hire someone for much more than that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we talked about in June is that OpenAI had a deal with Mattel, the giant toy manufacturer, to bring that technology into the company and also start to experiment with how could it go into toys. And what you and I talked about 6 months ago is that we will be talking about this at Christmas this year. And there are so many traps that this is probably going to backfire. And here we are with a Singaporean company that has put OpenAI ChatGPT into a toy with no gates, some gates, but not enough gates.
Not enough, right.
And the example that we used and talked about this summer is Gabo from Curio, and he has a lot of gates. And we tried to break him multiple times and was not able to.
We can do it, yeah.
And also, we're going to need watchdog groups. We're going to need other groups to come in and push around on this because there's too much of this technology coming so fast for parents. It's hard to stay on top of, is this safe for my kids? And we can't look to government regulators to really come in and police this stuff with where the administration is at
when
right
you
now.
Look at this technology, is that the biggest fear for you, or is it more about the sort of surveillance spy ability of this kind of stuff?
I think we need to be really careful with anything with our kids. We're not careful enough with ourselves, let alone innocent humans that are they just want to play with a toy. And there are some toys like this one, which I bought and have experimented with, where it is fallible in that it gets boring after a while, but it knows your name. You can talk to it. You can engage with it. I think we'll see more of that. I think the bigger fear is there'll be so many of these bad examples that we won't get to where's the cool creative stuff. How can I actually, the Speak and Spell, an amazing toy that I actually helped teach me how to read.
Yeah, me too.
And also parents were really concerned about kids learning how to read with an accent that sounded like a robot. Right? So Furbies and Teddy Ruxpin, we've talked about all that stuff, but the important thing, if you're going to buy any of these kind of toys for your kids this Christmas, check them out first.
Yeah.
Put some batteries in them, run them through the paces, try to break them so they don't say nasty stuff to your kids.
Yeah. Also, if your kids are asking those kind of questions to the toy, maybe you've lost this battle already.
Kids are going to be kids.
Kids are going to be kids.
And you have to think of the worst case scenario.
Always.
And if you brought it
Always.
into your house and you didn't pay attention and stay on top of it, you also have responsibility for that.
Greg Swan, Finn Partners. Appreciate you. Thanks, Greg.
Bye, Jason.
Have a nice
See you on the internet.
Thanksgiving. We will see you on the internet. And you will hear Steve Thompson. He's in for Henry Lake. I'll be here tomorrow. Dan is off tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving, Dan.
Retirement